I look at the glass half full, Brian.
Right.
I don't need your negativity right now because you came into the studio pretty negative about Corona.
Back said he seized up last night. In the middle of the night, woke up. Then back seized up this morning. Back, lower back, seized up.
That's where you hold stress.
That's where I hold my stress.
You hold stress in your lower back and in your hair.
That's probably hair and lower back.
So
and the stress cuts right through the Propecia I take.
Yeah.
Or the Hims, I should say, the finasteride.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Promo code fighter. So why are you so stressed? Just this whole Corona situation?
Just having to hold down all the shit I got to hold down in the midst of a coronavirus. That's what's hard.
What are you trying to hold down?
Just a
talking about your nut?
TV show. We're talking about podcasts. We're talking about touring. We're talking about all this crazy shit.
Well, don't sip in like that. But it's driving me nuts.
No,
touring TV. Look at me.
TV still going on.
Look at me. Touring TV.
I know. I wish that was the case for me. Fucking ABC, let me off the hook here. Yeah, I know. We're shooting scenes.
Dude, hold up. Are you saying you're not going to make the podcast Monday because you're I'm sorry, Wednesday?
That's the problem.
We have Joel McKay.
I know.
Joe McHale?
Joel McHale. I'm so excited, and I got to do this fucking, and ABC's like, get back in there. We got to shoot these scenes. I'm like, dude, what about Corona? And they're like, shut the fuck up.
We're going to power through it. Now, is the head of ABC Dana White?
Dana White is the head of ABC now. He took over ABC.
That makes sense. I feel like you're lying.
I'm genuine. So
I like your attitude today, dude.
I'm genuinely worried.
Really? Look
Not
at me.
about the
Hey,
Corona.
ask me how worried I am.
How worried are you?
Ask Jackson Smooth
Now
how
wait,
worried he is.
Jackson Smooth. It's 1 in the afternoon. Is that 23-year-old
23-year-old
whiskey?
Makoto. Yeah.
That's Makoto?
Ask me how worried I am.
How worried are you? Dude,
Every day.
It's 1 p.m.
Yeah.
on Monday.
you'll
That's how
start
worried I am.
swinging. That's impressive. That's impressive. You don't give a shit.
It's not that I don't give a shit. What are you gonna do, dude?
I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. I'll tell you exactly. You want to know what I do in these
You know
situations?
what you're gonna do? You know what you're
I fret.
Nope,
I
this
like
you.
to fret. I do that too. I suck my thumb.
Take my ass.
I fret. My butt perks. And I say to people, I go, I don't have money for the work you're doing around my house, but I do have a hole. I have a couple holes.
A warm mouth.
Well, that's what I said to the workers. I said, guys, good news and bad news.
I like this.
The good news, the bad news is don't have money for
Daddy doesn't have money.
Daddy doesn't have money. The good news is I got holes.
I got holes. Daddy has a warm mouth, and I'm looking for you to park your cocks in it.
And I got a very tight starfish that doesn't know what time it is.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
He's open for business.
He's open for
and
business.
Guess what, fellas?
Because he has to be.
He has to be because business is a booming.
We're taking the locks off, and if I get a little corona up in my shitter, I get a little corona in my shitter.
And you're open 6 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Get this work done. Keep this work going. You understand?
And
hey, when
did
you
they
have to
take
remodel,
that? Did they take that payment?
We don't know yet. That's going to happen after the podcast.
Please film,
Yeah, I'm going to. And then I'm going to sell the film online and make my money back.
dude.
So you see what I'm saying?
Onlyfans.com. Brian Callen.
This is a time for opportunity. This is not a time.
Dude, I don't. If you want negative shit and the world, it's doomsday. This ain't the place to come, man, because you can get it anywhere. Turn on the news.
I agree.
Turn on we don't need that, man.
Fortunes are made in crisis a lot of times. A lot of money was made. A lot of fortunes were made during the Great Depression. And I think that this is a time. Andrew Schultz said this very eloquently, and I agree with him. It's a time, it's an opportunity to get books read you haven't read, to start something you haven't started. It's not easy, man. It's fucking stressful when you don't know if you're going to have money.
Yeah, the problem is when it's like read books, I'm with you, Andrew. I'm looking at the glass half full too, and it hit me because so many people DM me. A lot of people, dude, read a book, bitch. I'm trying to feed my kids.
That's a huge problem.
What are you talking about?
Some people don't have
read a book.
Some people don't have money for food.
No, what do you mean read a book? I'm trying to keep
right.
my fucking lights on, bro. I lost my job. What do you mean read a book?
No, but that's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm so stressed
you know what?
about.
That's 97% of the world.
That's people we know very dearly and very closely who don't I'm like, you don't have any money. How are you buying food?
You're talking about like some comics we know,
a lot of comics.
Like that.
There are a lot of people that live literally that have $200 in the bank.
Oh yeah.
Less.
Well, I mean the average. I think the average American has $400 or less in the bank.
Yeah, it was 600 or something. But either way,
thank you for correcting
this is
that.
a disaster.
Look that up, Chin. I think it's 400.
This is a fucking disaster.
Yeah, but this is the world we live in. This happens.
My question is, when
man.
do we get back to work, and is the juice worth the squeeze? So
what do you mean?
So here's what I'm saying. People are talking about, we don't actually, a lot of the data is still very, very iffy. But here's the bottom line. 30% unemployment might kill more people than the coronavirus.
What'd you say?
30% unemployment or a depression, a global depression, a national depression could kill more people than any fucking virus could. I mean, in terms of suicides, in terms of domestic violence, in terms of all kinds of things that happen to people when they can't afford to live, can't afford to buy food. So I think there gets a point where we go, hey, let's get back to work. Is there a way we can?
Brian, what do you mean? Hey, let's get back to work. You don't think everybody wants to get back to work? Everybody wants to get back to work. They can't do.
No, I don't think there's
you can't spread the virus.
There's not a clear enough plan.
Well, the plan is to stop the virus.
The plan has been
like that Italian restaurant you posted. Other restaurants. No one gives a flying fuck about these businesses.
Well, South Korea,
because so many lives are being taken.
Well, I understand.
So they're trying to stop the virus.
First of all, excuse me. No, they're not being taken yet. Well, we know that they're not. In fact, I just spoke to my buddies in the front line of this. He's a physician. And he called me up, and he's my neighbor. He said, I can't have the kids play with each other because I'm going to be at the front lines. He's in UCLA hospital, and he's dealing with all this. And I said to him, I go, is it getting better or worse? He goes, we just don't know right now. Okay, so we're still in a holding pattern.
We know Italy.
The fact of the matter is,
we know China.
Well, so South Korea and China, but we don't know. We can't trust China. We can trust Italy because most of the people dying are very old and infirm.
Correct.
But with South Korea, they got a hold of this because they were really smart about testing. They have testing booths, so everybody gets tested and they know to quarantine themselves. We've been caught with our fucking pants down here. That's the one good thing that comes out of this. Hopefully we'll never be caught with our pants down in terms of not knowing how to deal with a pandemic, testing, and all those things. It's a new virus, I understand. But we got to figure out a way to get people who are not fucking positive in the workforce. And I think there comes a point where you have to decide whether or not the young people we know are going to live, okay?
I think it's a 98% success rate.
Yeah.
Again, all this, whatever you've heard, whatever I heard, a lot of this is bro science. Because to your point, we don't know how many people have it.
Conjecture.
A lot of it's unknown.
We actually have some pretty interesting stats on the cruise ships. So they were almost all elderly, and they think less than 1% mortality rate, and those were very old people.
But the less than 1% because they got the medication, right?
No, they didn't get the medication. They don't know if all of them died of corona, though. So here's the other problem. Very few people have been tested for it, including when we have those rates of how many people die of influenza, old people, and a lot of people do way more than corona. Yeah. But they don't get tested usually, so they can die from other things. So we're not sure. But usually that is a factor. When you catch a bad flu, we lose something like it's a crazy number of people. So we do have some petri dish studies. Some of them is one of them is the cruise ship, Italy, places like that. We also have success. We have some success stories like China, for example, which I believe is up and running.
That's the word.
And South Korea, which actually never really shut down. Correct me if I'm wrong.
But have you heard about, and again, what I'm spewing out, something I've heard other people talk about who are much smarter than me, but like in Washington was the hotbed where they had the really bad cases.
Yeah.
Up in Washington, that old folks home. They got that medication that Trump's been talking about, and Bayer Medicine donated like $5 million worth of pills or some shit like that, for maybe just straight up $5 million or 5 million pills for the medication. And the success rate with that medication that they have to clear by the FDA, I think that's what Trump's talking about. The success rate's like 98% when they take this medicine.
Yeah. What is it, like a malaria?
I don't know.
It's a combination. It's a drug therapy. So I just think it's a huge learning experience for us as a country, which is we're not ready for this. We're not ready for a pandemic.
No one was, though.
Yeah.
No one was.
But this has got to be, here's the thing. We spent a fuckload of money worrying about other things, okay? And we spent a fuckload of time talking about other threats. According to Bill Gates, this is the biggest threat we face. Something like this. It's happened on a smaller scale. We got to be fucking ready for this.
So, and there are ways to get ready. Are you saying the young should go back to work?
I believe
that's a terrible idea.
I believe that's what I think so. And I think it's up to the young and the old to quarantine themselves. If you're an at-risk person, I don't think you shut down and destroy the entire world economy.
If you have underlying health issues, you should
It may be very hard, and I do think that people are going to die, but I don't think that you're going to save more lives if we have a fucking global depression.
I'm with you 100%. I was on you. I'm on board with this plan. My only thing is, do you know my buddy Jeff Suskin?
Yeah,
like one of the most successful people I know, smart dude, black belt jiu-jitsu, one of my best friends,
Yeah.
lives in Denver. We're talking about Corona, and I'm always positive. I'm like, yeah, but 98% success rate, and I'm telling him all this stuff.
Sure.
And he goes, dude, hold on. I'm like, what? He goes, dude, I have a friend, you know him in Denver. He's 38 years old. He's the most in shape person we know. He rides his bike like Lance Armstrong every day, competes in races, finishes first, eats healthier than anybody you know. He got coronavirus. I'm like, and he's 38. He goes, yeah. I go, look at the success rate. It's like 99% for that age group. And
More
he goes,
than that.
Yeah, yeah. So he goes, right? That's what you hear, right? He goes, he's in the hospital. He's not doing well. They don't know if he'll make it.
But that's anecdotal.
I said, does he have underlying issues? He goes, nothing.
No, but that's anecdotal. So we know that actually, according to the stats, that's an anecdote. For the most part, people who are young are far more likely to experience mild symptoms. And by the way,
that's why I call it the boomer virus. Everybody got mad.
And H1N1 and certain things like that. Not even the boomer virus, Bubba. It's the very, very old virus. So it's for people who are 81, right?
It's the wrinkle
79.
virus.
It's the
wrinkle
heavy
virus.
rink, right? I don't want my parents are 80 almost. I don't want them to die, of course. But I'm saying that you can't destroy everybody's way of life. And I'm talking about boarding up restaurants and 50% of the restaurants and stuff like that with all the people they employ. You can't do that to people. And I don't think that flooding the market with government stimulus with $1 trillion or more, $1.6 trillion, what does that do? I'll tell you what it does. It jacks inflation. When inflation goes up, you got interest rates go up. This kills an economy. So there is a point where the reaction, the cure is worse than the disease. And I think that's the conversation.
I think what the government's trying to do is stop this at all costs before it gets more lives are lost. That's
so there's and
they don't care about businesses. They know you're going to go out of business.
Yep.
They know the economy's going to eat shit, but they're just trying to save human lives.
So that the smart thing here, it seems, is that we don't want to overrun the healthcare system, right?
That's the biggest problem. That would
be the things, because remember, if you overcome them with the coronavirus, all the other cases don't get treated as well, so a lot of people die. It's not just that they die of coronavirus. No. If you don't have enough hospital beds for people who are bleeding and all the other things, they die. So we know that. Well, again, caught with our pants down. Again, not really ready. Again, hopefully we take this more seriously.
But no one was ready, B.
Well, that's true. It's called a black swan. It's something that nobody could have predicted. But I think our overreaction has to be taken into account.
But I think that's on the media. Like this lady who watches my kiddos comes over and she's so stressed out. I'm like, what are you doing? She's watching the news. I'm like, oh, you can't. There's nothing positive on it.
Well, the media makes money.
They create such.
They've been very irresponsible.
Stress and fucking just dire times and stock up on this and do this. Yeah. This person's dying. Hold up.
Love it.
Why aren't you guys talking about China?
Right.
What about South Korea?
Right.
What about Germany?
Correct.
What about
there's no money?
Or what about the lady who was 102 years old who got corona and beat it?
Yeah.
What about that lady?
Yeah.
What about all these?
What about the vast majority of very old people who beat it?
You know why? You know why they can't do that though? Because then these lockdowns and trying to contain the virus, people won't take it serious.
Well,
so they create this fear. So I think 98% of, especially in the U.S., are shutting it down. Taking it serious.
That's giving them a lot of credit. I would say the media, for the most part, make money selling fear as usual. And I'm not just talking about the liberal media. I'm talking about fucking Fox News and
everything.
They make money doing this, and they should be
your local news, ABC, NBC, CB, all of you. You can't watch any of that shit, man, because you're gonna think the world's ending.
Yeah.
You're gonna blow your fucking head off.
Yep.
And I told my girl's mom who's watching, came over stressed out. But the lady who helps out with my kiddos, I'm like, you guys gotta stop watching.
103-year-old woman beats coronavirus. That is so awesome.
Amazing.
Of course she is. She's like, go fuck yourself. I've seen everything. She's seen the Black Plague at 103. I love it. I can tell you this right now.
Yeah.
Watch your tone.
Okay. What's going to happen? What are you going to do? Use some of that boxing you've been doing?
Don't you fucking disrespect. Hey.